to seek clarity of the role that the County Commission plays in the process for oversight of county code violations and irregularities. I'm going to talk specifics. I'm going to talk in regard to the South Knoxville proposed Ancient Lore Village commercial project, which is seeking zoning change from agricultural to planned commercial, and South Sector Plan Amendment from low-density residential to general commercial. This has been postponed for review before the Planning Commission since February and tabled indefinitely since April. And yet, through a series of loopholes, construction seems to be in full force underway for a project that has not been heard or reviewed, and in fact, on the record, has been told by the Planning Commission that it could not be supported for approval as presented for these zoning changes and sector amendments. I'm going to give some examples of the loopholes that I'm speaking of. So building permits were granted for a single-family residential dwelling, while simultaneously the project released a media blitz announcing breaking ground for its commercial prototypes. The county permit offices tells us that under consult with their legal department, that they cannot deny a permit based on intent. So what that says to me that one can falsely represent an application for a residential dwelling permit while clearly obtaining the permit to build a commercial prototype, which is what's been undergoing. That seems like a pretty big loophole to me. There have been a couple of TDEC violations in regard to the aquatic resource alteration permit. TDEC has denied approval of the ALD's general construction plan based on these stormwater discharge violations until just last week. Despite the fact that construction has been done seemingly in according to those plans as if it were approved. But because they haven't been approved, one can do what they want to their private property. And so there has been construction underway that basically would be in compliance with the plan that has not been approved. That seems like a fairly major loophole to me, that all this construction can happen right now under the permission of individual property rights, though those plans are really based on a construction plan hoping to be approved. We're hoping now that approval has happened, that maybe there'll be better monitoring of the construction that's undergoing and that possibly will stop. But it seems a little strange that the state now approves a general construction plan for a project that the county says will not be approved. How does that make sense? I'm trying to understand how county commission oversights that. What else? A couple of other little things, despite the evidence of excavation of 3.6 acres of land with slopes greater than 50% on Brown Mountain, which is protected under the Hillside and Ridgetop Protection Plan. Those occurrences have been happening. So again, we don't have oversight. There seems to be violations, even though we know that the Ridgetop and Hillside Protection Plans are recommendations, but they're strong recommendations, especially for the South Sector Plan on the Brown Mountain area. Seems to be some evidence of some subsurface excavation, which would normally require permits, and that haven't happened. That has not happened. It's been neighbors that have been intimidated. We have one neighbor who has repeatedly been threatened with gun violence by workers on John Norton Road. That seems of serious concern. We've reported that to the Sheriff's Department. They have refused to give us a report on that. I don't understand. We've had trespassing on private property that has continued despite warnings and proper signage that has been posted. That seems to be problematic. Fairly recently, we've had two former county commissioners who do a weekly podcast, of which on the August 7th podcast, which I forwarded to everybody sitting here, including the mayor's office and the planning commission, the Ed and Bob show were advocating that this specific project should probably move ahead without permission and ask for forgiveness afterwards. The mayor's office actually responded to my forwarding this.
Ma'am, I'm going to give you just a little bit more time to kind of wrap up. But
Okay,
I'll give
just
you your full
about
5. Yeah, if you could just start to wrap it up, please, I'd appreciate it.
I'm getting ready to do that. So the mayor's office told us to be sure that permission would first occur before forgiveness. I haven't heard from anybody on this panel in regards to our concerns with that. ALB has been tabled while plunging ahead with construction, aggressive PR campaign, pushing this project as if it's been approved already. What I need to know is, what does our community do? Our legal consultation states that because of these loopholes, there is no accountable or actionable process at this time. So what does the county commission do to oversight these ordinance and regulation irregularities?
Ma'am, I'm going to need you to wrap it up. We give everybody
This is
fairness
my
5
last
minutes.
statement.
Okay.
So I want to thank Parson Daly, our county commissioner, for his attention to our concerns, and I would really like for the county commission to address these loopholes. Thanks for your time and
Thank you.
attention. I appreciate hearing your responses.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your time. Okay, that concludes. Is there anyone else here who wants to speak at public forum? I believe we only had 2 signed up in advance. Okay,